This is the trend review for Tuesday, the 4th of January 2024. And today I was looking at Tesla, and Tesla continues to trade in this chop. Um, it did so for the entire month, and in this month we have tighter pivots, and we're still in the gray area, although we were dropping to the bottom of the range, very close to the bottom at 174. And today we were gapping up a little bit. Sorry, we were gapping down a little. Yesterday we had a sell-off, and today it seems like we wanted a continuation of that sell-off, but we opened in the pre-market very low in the price, so I waited for things to settle down a little bit. We had a lot of back and forth price action, and I figured it will be a bit of a neutral day. So once we tested yesterday's range and formed a really nice hammer with nice amount of volume, signaling indecision, I made my entry, and unfortunately it got stopped out. Price decided to test a little bit lower, to probe a little bit lower, and it did stop me out. But it was a really good entry. It was with confidence at a good price, a good trade location for a run to the top side. Market structure was the initial balance was too wide for this double distribution, so it was a neutral day. That's the best way to describe the market structure. And so I got stopped out, and then I wanted to. I saw this price action, this sell off after the hammer, and I felt that we were gonna break down from yesterday's range, and we were gonna sell off. And my biggest and the reason why I thought of this range extension was because we failed to sell off. We failed to sell higher than 177. We were really struggling to push past the previous day close. So I was selling a lot of selling. I was seeing a lot of selling pressure, but I never really have the confidence. These candlesticks did not really provide a lot of confidence making an entry short. It's starting to behave a little bit like Nvidia, which I abandoned because it traded like this. So we did have a lot of selling pressure at 177, sold off, and so I was expecting a little bit of a range extension. So I made an entry short here for a rejection of the gray area and trade against S3, the S3 level. But at the end of the day, even though we moved to 1 hour of my position, more than 1 hour, price failed to break lower than pre-market high. We formed another doji, and it started to scare me a little bit. I knew that if we fail to have this range extension, we were gonna reverse. So I placed my stop loss at break even. I was watching it closely. We really attempted to drop below 174, but failed. And that's when I decided to cancel the entry, and it wicked me out a little bit. So it wasn't really break even. I lost like 0.3, 0.4 R, more like 0.3 R. So it was a break even loss in my book. And then I flipped my position to long, as I was expecting this to behave as a neutral day, and I was trying to play the run to the top side of the range on a neutral day. So I was expecting to get out at around yesterday's value, previously close. And as you can see, that entry worked beautifully. We run to the top side, and I held nicely. We did struggle a lot. It had a lot of chop here, but finally hit that target. And I didn't partial because these previous losses, it didn't really gave me confidence to partial on a smooth transition. So this was very choppy, and the price just chop back and forth on a neutral day, kind of set value here. and then it did it at the close. It ended up running to the top side and ran past pre-market high. But once again, 177 was a strong number. It failed to go to R2 and then rejected 177, 50 pretty much, and returned to the open price at the close. So very indecisive day. We continue to set value at this low, and on the daily chart, it seems like this is becoming a little bit of a bottom. We didn't really have the sellers to continue pushing down, so it was a bit of a fight today, and maybe we'll run to the top side tomorrow. It's starting to look like a strong bottom, but then again, we're just trading in a range. So today was excellent, despite the first miss. It was a solid trade on the 2 minutes. The price just decided to probe a little bit lower, and I was smart about my entry short. I was trying for a range extension. I realized it didn't happen and adapted, flipped my position. So I had an excellent pre-market prep, a good execution of trades, respect the stop loss. So I did meet goal today. I executed 100% of my trades. I took 3 trades, 2 and 1, and resulted in 2R. And this was Traverse. Is bullish. Loss minus 1.1. This trade was rejection of the gray area and S3 for a run to S4 and lower for range extension. It was executed well. Break even minus 0.3, and this was an A3. Yes, bullish win and 3.4. So that gives us a 2R. Win 1.1 minus 0.3 and 3.4. Those were really good executed trades. Finally, having a good week. And that's it for my trading review. I hesitated a little bit on the short side here at 177, but it is what it is. It was very hard to time. I did end up getting a nice move on the return, so that is that. That's it for today.